All right, so let's do some introductions. First off, I'm Michael Wolff, mortgage broker, branch manager with U Mortgage, Raleigh branch. And I brought on Carli Meeks with Keller Williams, right?
Hi, Keller Williams, Wilmington, North Carolina.
All right. How long you been doing this? How long you been the realtor?
Almost 10 years now.
It's a long time. I brought you on board because you have a pretty strong referral-based business. And I think a lot of people, especially in the market now, realtors, loan officers, kind of want to see how you do it.
Sure.
I mean, it's hard to replicate exactly what someone else is doing, and things work differently for other people, but at least, some ideas. How much of your business now would you say is referral based?
It's about 72% annually.
That's a pretty accurate number. Okay.
It is. I track everything. I'm a big numbers person.
That's awesome. Well, let's talk about that. But so is 72% like direct referrals, or is that like referrals from referrals? So like a kind of a chain.
That's specifically referrals from real estate agents around the country. We do get referrals from past clients in our local sphere, but that is just agent referrals.
Right. Do you track referrals from those referrals? So an out-of-state agent says, here's a client, help them out. You do. And then that starts like another chain.
We do. It's just not included in that number.
It's hard to go like that deep, I guess, unless you have some crazy tracking skills, like where this person came from, because it could have been like 5 referrals deep.
Oh yeah, it always goes deep.
So when you first started the business, what did you do initially for business generation?
Well, I moved to an area where I could probably count on one hand how many people I knew. And so not having a local sphere is what we call it, sphere of influence, and a local database, I resorted to door knocking, cold calling, really just doing everything I possibly could, going to networking events, joining groups. And then I had a good, strong social media presence. So one of my objectives was just to get my Facebook friends to the max is 5,000 that you can have, to get to that 5,000 threshold as fast as possible. Because whenever people join real estate, they get into the real estate industry and they want to post on Facebook, who do you know that wants to buy or sell? I'm in real estate now. Tell your friends and family. And then they have like 50 friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
Well, that's your audience. You just told 50 people. So the more people you can tell your story to, the more opportunities you're going to have. And so I grew my Facebook friends list to 5,000, and I was very strategic of who are my friends on Facebook. Because if I'm going to post, who's my audience? Correct. The audience needs to be able to network with me, support my posts, support my mission. And so my objective was to add as many real estate agents across the country that I possibly could.
Yeah, I saw that. I think you have almost maxed out right now.
And I keep maxing out. I keep having to, clean some out to add some. So it does fluctuate, but it hits that ceiling pretty quickly. Really, close friends and family, past and future clients, and real estate agents. I'm pretty strict on that. And some of my vendor partners, of course, that I care about my relationships with, that, just like you.
Well, that's good that you have your audience. So whenever you post, the people need to see it, or the ones that see it, which is great. After you start in the business, a lot of people do start off with door knocking, buying leads, like whatever it takes to kind of get a base established and figure out what works for them. At what point did you start to see more referrals coming in where you're like, oh, wow, this is actually something that works for me?
What happened pretty immediately, and thanks to the company that I do work for, Keller Williams Realty, we have a family reunion event every single February that is in different places around the country. So I've been to New Orleans twice, Orlando, Anaheim. We're going back to Anaheim this coming February. It's been in Dallas, it's been Phoenix, it's been lots of different locations. And whenever I go to these events, there's about 20,000 of our 200,000 agents that attend these events. And so I'm very intentional about the relationships that I build, and I don't just meet the people there. We exchange contact information. Whenever I get back home to North Carolina, I'm strategic about sending them handwritten notes, adding them on Facebook, continuing to nurture those relationships. They get added to my database. We send them a monthly newsletter out to their email, and I just stay in touch with everybody. I really care about my relationships. And even if those people haven't sent me referrals, a lot of times somebody within their firm, within their market center is what we call it, they'll reach out to their office and say, hey, who knows an agent in Wilmington, North Carolina? They say, oh, I met this great girl at family reunion last year. She covers that area. And so sometimes it's not direct, it's kind of just indirect, but it helps me spread my recognition worldwide from these events.
That's awesome. When you go to these events, do you pick out ahead of time, like who you want to meet? Like, I know that I need to meet this person in this market because I've seen them. I know they're busy, like they're always out in front of people. I need to know who they are.
Yes, there's lots of networking. There's classes during the day, networking in the evenings. And so there's a lot of people that I've met online or that have sent me referrals online over the past year. And then the next family reunion that comes around, I try to be intentional about texting them, hey, I know you're here. Let's meet up. Let's finally put a face to a name and continue to nurture that relationship because it's really important.
So just solidify it a little bit more. Just
Mhm.
right. And I think what people need to realize is any kind of marketing, the more people that know who you are, the more people that see you on a regular basis, the more successful you're going to be. You know,
Absolutely.
people can't find you if they don't know, they don't see you. Like, then what are you going to do? The people that have 50 people on Facebook as their friends, they're reaching out to the same people all the time, and they're only going to work with them so many times. So you got to cast a bigger net.
Exactly. I mean, everything we do is a numbers game.
But yeah, it's important to go to a bunch of big networking events within the company. What would you say for someone that's maybe, I mean, a lot of firms do similar things, but what would you say for someone who's maybe with a more of a boutique company and they don't have these big, huge international events with their company a couple times a year?
I would say if there were the boutique, I mean, you can always travel to different areas and Keller Williams is an open book company. We offer all of our training and all of our services to other firms without the pressure of recruiting. You don't have to join our firm to attend any of our training classes. And we have firms all around the country. And so you can still send and receive referrals. I send and receive referrals to other agents outside of my firm as well. I've done business with EXP, Remax, Caldwell Banker, lots of different other firms. It's just because Keller Williams is worldwide, it's a lot easier to find an agent in other markets rather than just hunting down any firm anywhere.
Right.
So even if you're with another firm, you still have opportunities to network with agents in other areas. And of course, social media is the quickest and the cheapest and the most efficient way of doing that.
Well, nothing cheaper than free, you know?
Yes.
Do you have your own like Facebook groups that you maintain, or are there other groups, national groups that you're a part of that you regularly contribute to?
So my two main ones are I'm our president for our Keller Williams Young Professionals chapter here in Wilmington, North Carolina. And so I do network with agents under 40, which is a pretty big network within our firm, but that is within our firm. That's within the Keller Williams network. I also am an admin that runs a Wilmington community group here in my local area, and we have about 50,000 members.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah.
How many admins are in that group or moderators?
I believe we have 5. It was started by my good friend and past client, Natasha. I helped her and her husband buy and sell a property. That's how I got involved with the group. She started it with Hurricane Florence that happened a few years ago in our area, being at the coast of North Carolina. It was a community outreach group of just a group where you could have a resources of, where can I go to get supplies and who's helping with debris and tree cutting and just whatever resources that you needed. It started out as that, and then it just grew from there for local resources for, hey, where's a good place for me to go get dinner tonight, or looking for a wedding venue, or whatever you need for local resources.
So that wasn't the original intent, but it just grew from there.
It grew, yes.
That's a huge one. Is that local to Wilmington? Or
It is.
Is it still growing, or is it kind of reached capacity at this point?
No, it's still growing.
That's awesome.
Lots of requests that we have to approve daily.
Well, it's, I mean, a huge group, a lot of activity. It's probably searchable from outside as well.
Yeah, it's a private group, but it is searchable, and a lot of people recommend it. We have people that are coming from all over the country moving here. We have such a great market to buy and invest in.
Yeah.
And so between people moving here for their primary residence, their second home, or investment property, it's a great resource to have here in this area.
What's the name of the group?
It's literally called Wilmington NC Community.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pretty straightforward. People who have their local community groups, it's a good source, not just for business, but just to build the community. You build a kind of a trusted area where people can share experiences rather than going to Yelp and who knows what that is.
Yeah, it's just more credible. Yeah, especially whenever you're looking for a contractor to redo your bathroom or to build a deck or install a pool, or just hearing people's actually feedback rather than just reading reviews, because a lot of people don't write reviews. They don't even if they had a great experience or a bad experience, some people just don't take to the internet to write the reviews. But if somebody asks for somebody's opinion, then people are more likely to give that, because they can give it privately also, to where it's not publicly on blast. They can message the person, they can click on their name, go to their messenger and Facebook and say, hey, this was my experience, just didn't want to share it publicly. So people are just more willing to share whenever it's not something public that everybody can read.
Sure. And you can also see if the person saying, hey, use this company, you can easily find out if they're part of the company. If it's like an inside recommendation, which, you know, you got to dig a little bit deeper in those for that. But that's awesome. Want to ask you, you said you track, or you're really good at tracking. Like, what do you use to track? Like, what kind of maybe system or just what data do you collect and how you reference it?
Our company provides a system called CTE. It's called Commitment to Excellence. And then we also just use our Google Sheets.
Google Sheets. Okay.
Yes, love Google Sheets. My team always jokes, my operations manager for my team, she laughs at me because I have spreadsheets for spreadsheets. You have to understand your numbers, where you've been, where you're going, how you're going to get there, because it's kind of like a GPS. You know, you don't really know, you kind of know where you want to go, but how do you know how to get there unless you know where you're starting from? So I'm a big numbers person.
Do you keep like a rolling tally of everything, or do you update like every month you start fresh and say, this is what my goal is? But also, how do you track like past stuff? Like for the, 72% of your business is referral. So you have some kind of ongoing tally, but also you have goals set up to, maybe increase that. Like, what do you exactly track?
Yeah, it's ongoing. So we have a spreadsheet for whenever I receive an agent referral, the agent's contact information goes on there, the client's contact information, whether they're a buyer or seller, and the date that it came in. We're working on our final numbers for this year so far, but I know that we've paid out $85,000 in agent referral fees. So agent referrals are great for business, but for the people that are actually sending them are getting compensated for their referral as well. There's no standard on that commission, but we see roughly 25 to 30% in referral fees, and we've paid out $85,000 just this year. Last year, we paid out $73,000 and received 115 agent referrals. I don't know the approximate number for the number that we've received this year. We're still crunching that, but our goal is to pay out $100,000 in agent referral fees this year. So we've got about 15,000 to go.
You're on track. Definitely on track.
2 months left.
So it sounds like a lot of the realtor referral business, they kind of find you. You're out there, you're all over, they find you, right? Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah.
So what
very
about
well known within our community?
What about like your client referrals? Like your clients will refer you other people, right? I'm sure that happens. How do you ask them for referrals? Is it something you set up early in the process? Is it something towards the end of the transaction where you kind of set the stage for like, I'm going to ask you for referrals? Or is it like an ongoing thing where you have a regular reach out, and as part of that, it's like a casual, hey, I'm here if you need it, that kind of a thing?
We really intend to keep in touch with our clients after they close. We want to make sure that they know and understand and trust that they weren't just a commission check to us, that we took good care and diligence to get them under contract, to get them closed, and then we don't just ghost them forever. Right. So we do client events throughout the year. We're nearing the end of October. For November, we always do our annual pie day where we order those big, massive Costco pies, and they can come by our office and pick it up, or if they're not able to, we'll swing it by their house. And we're trying to do just strategic events throughout the year to show them that we continuously care about them. Don't forget that we're in business. We want your business, but the people that you love need us too. It's not about us trying to be salesy. We know that we have their best interest in heart. We know that we are one of the best teams in the area to service them, and that they need us just as much as we need them. Yes, we need the clients, we need the ongoing business, and we want that.
Right.
But there are a lot of agents out there that don't have the expertise, the knowledge, the care and diligence that we take, and we want to make sure that they're in good hands. And so we want to stay top of mind and remind them that we're the trusted team here in the Wilmington area.
And many agents won't have any post-closing follow-up, maybe very little, if any.
Yeah. We call them orphan clients. You just close them and then they never hear from you again. We just had a small hurricane. It just hit Fort Myers, but it swooped around and got us a little bit here at the coast. Not much damage whatsoever. But then, I try to reach out to our past clients. Hey, are you okay? Is there anything that you need? Did you have any damage? Do you need any contractors that we can help you partner with? Just making sure that they know that we're here for more than just buying and selling. We want to be the trusted local area expert in all realms. So if you want to add a deck onto the back of your house, I've got a guy. If you have a plumbing leak, I've got a guy. If you want to just have your driveway paved or your garage floor epoxied, whatever you want to do, I know the people in town that are going to take just as much care of you as we do.
That's awesome. So I'm Carli, I'm the source of suss out the people in the community, the services. So if I'm referring someone, you know how I operate, and I'm going to refer you someone I trust as well. So that's awesome. You set yourself up as kind of the local expert, right?
And it's about backing up what you say too. And we really try to make our clients truly feel that we're not just out here, because a lot of times real estate agents can get a bad rep of, oh, well, they're just being salesy. They're just, we call it commission breath. They're just trying to make a sale. We're genuinely in the community trying to help and make a difference, and helping people with the opportunity of home ownership and long-term wealth and investing. And we're more of consultants and advisors rather than just trying to sell them something.
That's awesome. So you're not really directly asking for referrals. You just do your thing. You just be you and just give.
Yeah, I'm just here. I'm not here to pressure you. If you don't want to ever hear from me again, tell me, Carli, stop it. Leave me alone. But I'm going to make sure that you know that we're here, because being dedicated and reliable and available is one of my biggest value propositions that I really want my people to understand. Is I'm not trying to just sell you something. I'm here to be your friend. I'm here to be a resource for whatever you need.
Yeah, you make the right connection with people. They see you're genuine.
Yeah,
they like the transaction or the whole process, and then why would they think of someone else?
Exactly.
Because they remember how you made them feel throughout the process.
My purpose is to back up what you say, action over words.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, that's a lot of great info. Thank you so much. Before we go, I just have two questions, maybe three, but unrelated to referrals. You've been doing this for a while. Where do you see the market headed in the next few months? And two, what advice do you have for buyers right now in this market?
Great question. The National Association of Realtors has estimated that the number of homes being sold over the next few years is definitely going to go down. That doesn't necessarily mean prices are going to go down. We are seeing price reductions in our market, and a lot of markets are. And I network with agents, and I'm having daily conversations of, hey, what are you seeing in your market? Because typically what happens in other markets is eventually going to happen to other markets. And some markets it gets hit first, and some of them are on the tail end. And the ones that we are seeing price reductions on are overpriced to begin with. They overshot it, and they're the older houses that maintenance has been neglected. They don't have a newer roof. They don't have a newer HVAC system. We have crawl spaces here at the coast that we're in a humid area. Mold is rampant. And so the properties that haven't been maintained and that are just overpriced to begin with, those are going to sit a little bit longer. The properties that are in good condition, that are priced right and in good locations, they're still getting multiple offers on them.
Right.
I listed property this past week and we got multiple offers in 2 days. I foresee that still balancing out. I think our inventory is going to increase. And unfortunately, I do think that interest rates are going to go up. That's what the news that I'm hearing from the feds is that, right now they're hovering around, correct me if I'm wrong, I just closed on an investment property myself at 7%. What buyers need to understand is that interest rates over the past few years, that's what a lot of people entering the buyer's market know to be the norm of interest rates. They're like, oh, I want to wait till they come down. The past few years are the lowest of the low that they've ever been in the history of ever. And waiting for them to come down may not be the best thing. And a lot of people are saying they're going to wait for them to come down. But even over the past 2 or 3 weeks, since things have started to soften, this has been great for buyers because they're not having to waive inspections. They're not having to waive appraisal or attaching appraisal gap addendums to their contracts. They're actually able to go under contract, get in inspections, and negotiate some repairs or credits for repairs or home warranties with the sellers. And so even though interest rates are up, you have so much more advantage. You're not seeing a house for 10 minutes and making a long-term commitment decision with the house that's potentially has issues and it's going to cost you money. Interest rates going up are not a bad thing because lock in your interest rate right now. If it comes down, refinance. But if it goes up, well, then you got a good one.
You're fine.
So compared to the sense of urgency that we've had to have over the past 2 years of the speed to lead, and if a property comes on the market, you got to be the first one in the door and the first offer in to even stand a chance going a certain percentage over list price, knowing that you're going to have to waive everything and you may be buying a house that's not in great condition that you don't even like. Things are good for buyers right now. And I think that the fear of what's on the news and what's going to happen and the crash is coming, we're still in a seller's market here in Wilmington area. We still have less than 2 months of inventory on the market, and a seller's market is anything lower than 6 months. It's going to take a hard turn in our market to flip us over to a buyer's market. And
like a pure buyer's market, where sellers are trying to give up whatever they can to get rid of the property.
Right.
And I don't think that's ever going to happen, to be honest.
People are, I don't mean to cut you off. I was going to say, and people are worried about the market crashing and what's going to happen. Well, the market has always historically gone up and down, and it always will.
Right.
And so if you buy a house now and the market crashes and, let's just say 2 or 3 years, well, you only really have to worry about the value of your home if you intend to sell it.
Yeah.
If you're buying that property with the intent to live there for 10 to 20 plus years, then you're golden.
Yeah, you're fine. I mean, I like to look at, I show people charts, not even, like federal data, like, hey, like the home value, over time, they always go up.
Always.
Will be dips and drops, but unless you have to sell at that moment, like
it's a market. That's what a market does.
It doesn't matter if that's like, who cares? Like, like people put money into their 401ks and IRAs, but they don't cash it out as soon as they see the market drop for a couple of days or even a year or two. Put it in there and hold it. It's an investment,
That's right.
Inventory issue is probably going to be an issue for a while because, I mean, think of how many homeowners now have interest rates in the 2s, 3s, 4s, even 5s, and they have equity. They're in a good financial situation. So people are selling only if they have to sell, really.
Right. Those people that bought over the past few years that have those low interest rates, they're going to hold them for a while unless they experience a life change that they have to sell.
Right.
And maybe some of the loans that they obtained are assumable to where a buyer can snag that low interest rate and just pay the difference.
Yep. That's a whole different conversation. There's a lot more.
I'm not going to open that can of worms.
But yeah, VA loans, government loans are, you can do some assumptions, but it's a process. Mm-hmm. They don't have a lender working with them for that. They do deal right with the lender that has the loan. And it's more complicated with the veterans as well, because you have to deal with the entitlements. If you're a veteran and like a civilian assumes your loan, they have to, come up with the difference, in the value in the loan, but that their entitlements tied up with that property, right? Yep. So the veteran may have an issue buying another house, but that loan could still go into foreclosure down the road, and that's the veteran's problem,
Right.
So it is
a loaded topic.
Yeah, it's a loaded topic. There's a lot to it, and definitely something that a seller needs to know all their options. But I think I agree, it's a great time for buyers. I don't like focusing on interest rates, not only because higher rates make our job look bad. Like, oh, why are the rates high? What are you guys doing? But really, what it comes down to is affordability. Like, can you afford? Like, you have to show, like, hey, like your value is gonna be fine. Like, don't worry about it. The things drop a little bit. It happened. We had the biggest crash in 2008 and we recovered. So don't worry about value. Know that if you're renting, your rent's going to go up no matter what. And as long as you can afford the mortgage, like at some point down the road, rates will improve. What goes up comes down. No guarantees when or what, but it will. And like you said, they have time to think about it, the properties, and do their due diligence. And that's why the older homes that aren't maintained are sitting longer, because the buyers say, look, I don't have to buy this right now. I'm not in a rush. No one's going to take this from under me. Let me look at my other options. And then they can always negotiate price, concessions, credits, repairs. Like, I've seen all kinds of things right now in a really quick, really short time frame.
I'm glad you said that about the interest rates, because I've had a lot of buyers over the past 2 years, whenever interest rates were low, that I tried to get off the fence because interest rates are low. Well, they say, prices are up. Yes, but interest rates are low. And so what they don't realize is that, some of the prices have come down, but still statistically, they're still going to appreciate. Now the interest rates have gone up. They can't afford the monthly payment for a $250,000 house anymore. Now that's a $150,000 house, and those houses don't even exist in our market. They don't really truly understand. And whenever we try to explain it, they think that we're just trying to sell them something. But the proof is in the numbers. And the reality of it is interest rates have gone up, and that's changed a lot of people's buying power and their ability to purchase and their price point of how much house they could get for their money. And they could have afforded $700,000 house a year ago. And now that's a $550,000 house.
People that are waiting for rates to come down, well, the values may be higher. And if you're holding out now for lower rates, so are other people. So then when you think it's the right time, so will they. And there comes more competition for the same house. So that's going to influence the prices.
And our area is so desirable for people moving from all over the country. We have low taxes. We have 4 seasons. We're here at the coast. We're 5 hours from the mountains. North Carolina is just a great place to invest your money. And there's a lot of people that are actually being forced out of our area because their rent has gone up $500 or more since last year.
Yeah.
Landlords and apartment complexes are saying, hey, sorry, your lease is coming to an end and we're going to raise your rent $500 in 1 year. And that's a big jump for a lot of people, especially with the inflation. People are having to decide between electricity bills and food right now. And had they have locked in a year ago, they could have gotten a fixed rate at the same price that they're renting now. And it's going to force a lot of people out of our area. And if you don't buy now, what's that going to look like next year, the next year? Your rent can go from $1,500 to $2,500. What's that look like for your family? Lock in, buy something, let it appreciate, and have a fixed rate, because your payment's going to be what your payment is for the next 30 years.
There isn't any rent control here. Anybody can go look up data and say rents never slow down in good markets, bad markets. People have a problem buying a house. Well, rents are going to go up because more people need to rent. A lot of people did miss the boat when the rates were lower. Now they got to set their sites lower and lower prices, things like that, or different areas even where it's less expensive. But I agree, people need to buy a house to at least stabilize their finances, bare minimum. Don't leave it up to chance and up to your landlord's whim, because then you may be moving every year and keep moving further away if the rents get a little bit out of control. You can only show people so much data, and they're going to believe what they want to believe, and maybe listen to the news and TV, and they get different opinions from people.
Or their uncle or dad or grandpa or mom or
their uncle, dad, or they heard a horror story about their cousin who lost their house in 2008, and they don't have the data to really correlate and the differences in what happened then in the world, in the U.S. and the whole world, I guess, compared to now. Like, you got to actually educate and here's what's going on, and verify independently, or just be fearful.
Right. And that's what I'm here to do. Like, whatever the person decides, that's on them. I'm here to educate, advise, consult first and foremost before my own personal benefit, and whatever they decide for themselves. If we decide to work together, if they decide to buy now, if they decide to wait, I help, especially investors. I just closed a property recently where I connected with that investor 3 years ago. Sometimes it just takes time for them to get their finances in order. And it's never too soon to talk to me or you about what that looks like, especially if you know that you need to get your credit score up, or you're not sure what's going to show up on your credit report. If you intend to buy a property next year or the next year, or say you're 2 to 3 years out, talk to us today. Because we can help you come up with a game plan, because there may be things that you don't know about, that you're not thinking about, that we can help guide you and get you set up on a plan so that you're in a good position to do it whenever you're ready. Sure. Rather than just thinking that you know how to fix your credit, or what's on or what's not on your credit report. Because there have been some plenty of surprises where I've had people say, well, I want to buy in a year, and then we talk in eight to about 10 months from now, and you say, okay, I'm ready, my lease is up in 2 months, and then you get your credit report pulled and you find out there's some surprises, we've got some things to fix, and then you have to renew your lease for another year because we didn't have time to fix it. So let us help you fix it.
Not just credit, but I've seen people's tax returns where they may not have had the best accountant or advice with their tax filings.
Yes, talk to your lender before you do your taxes.
Maybe they had some I don't know, some deductions that they aren't legit, because the CPA said, hey, I'll save you some money. You have at least you give it a heads up, you have time to review for next year's filings. At least you can make corrections and make it accurate if that's what happened. Put yourself in the best situation possible. So credit review, income review, and sometimes it's just hey, save up this much money, figure out how to get from here to there, but the rest of your file looks good. But definitely plan it. Everyone that's come to me hey, I need to find a house for the next 3 weeks, I think 99% never bought a house. They waited till last minute. They weren't planners at all, and most of them had some kind of issue or something, or deadline, and they just ended up, like you said, getting into another lease just because they had to. All right. Well, I'm going to let you go. We covered a lot of good stuff. So thank you so much. And I will definitely talk to you, see you around, see you on Facebook, and great tips. Appreciate it. Thanks, Carli.
Sounds good. Thanks for the chat. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.